this is Jo from Math Tutor Me. Today we are doing some more surds and we're looking at the distributive law. Now the distributive law is the name that we give to the process of expanding out brackets like these. So today we are expanding and simplifying surd questions that involve brackets. So we will need to use all the skills of multiplying and simplifying surds that we've learnt in other lessons. So let's look at this first question. Expand and simplify. Number 1, root 3 bracket root 5 plus root 2. Now to expand brackets, we multiply what is out the front by the first thing inside the bracket. So we want to multiply root 3 times root 5. When we multiply surds, we multiply the numbers underneath the surds. 3 times 5 is 15. So it becomes root 15. Then I multiply the number at the front with the second thing inside the bracket. So root 3 times root 2. 3 times 2 is 6. So it becomes root 6. Check to see if there's any simplification that can be done, but there isn't, so that question is finished. Let's look at question 2. Root 2 bracket 5 root 11 plus 4 root 7. Okay, if there's numbers at the front, we multiply those first. So in that first one, there's a 1 here, which would multiply by the 5. 1 times 5 is 5. Now the square root numbers, 2 times 11 makes 22. Okay, then we multiply what's out the front by the second thing inside the brackets. The numbers at the front, 1 times 4 is 4. And 2 times 7 is 14. So square root of 14. Look for any simplification, but we can't simplify anything there. Question 3. Now we have two sets of brackets, which you might have heard the expression before, FOIL, F-O-I-L. The F stands for first, the first thing in each bracket. The O stands for outside, the I stands for inside, and the L stands for last. So let's do them one at a time. Let's do first. The first in the bracket times the first in the bracket. Root 5 times 2 root 5. Well, the numbers at the front would be a 1 times 2 is 2. Root 5 times root 5 is just a 5. The square roots cancel out. Then we want to do the outside. That means the two outside things on each bracket. So that one times that one. Okay, so 1 times minus 3 is minus 3. Root 5 times root 2, 5 times 2 is 10. Then we come to I for inside, the two inside things in the bracket, those two things there. So 2 times 2 is 4, a plus 4. 3 times 5 is 15, root 15. Then the L is for last, the last thing in each bracket, that one with that one. So 2 times minus 3 is a minus 6, and root 3 times root 2, 3 times 2 makes 6. So minus 6 root 6. Okay, let's just tidy up a little bit. 2 times 5 is 10. Looking for anything to simplify in there. Root 10, that's not going to simplify. 15, that's not going to simplify. And that's not going to simplify either, so that's my final answer. Let's look at another question. Question 4. I have 2 root 6 minus 3 root 8, all in brackets, all squared. Now there's two ways you can expand this. There is a short method that you can do, but I'm going to do the longer method for people that may need a few extra steps to help them understand. So the longer way to do this is to just simply change that to be 2 root 6 minus 3 root 8 in one bracket. And when something is squared, it just means that you have the same bracket multiplied together twice. So there it is, the same bracket together twice. And then it's simply a matter of doing the FOIL method, first, outside, inside, last, that we did in the last question. So let's do that. 2 times 2 is 4 for the first, and then root 6 times root 6 is 6, the square roots cancel out. Then we look at the outside ones. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6. 6 times 8 is 48. Then we come to the inside ones. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. 6 times 8 is 48 again. And then the last. Minus 3 times minus 3 is a plus 9. Root 8 times root 8 makes an 8 without a square root sign anymore. Okay, let's simplify. 4 times 6 is 24. Now, these are actually like surds. Minus 6 root 48 minus another 6 root 48 makes a minus 12 root 48. And then we have 9 times 8, which is 72. Now we're almost finished, but we can collect these up, and we can also simplify this surd. Now remember your perfect square numbers to help you simplify a surd. Let's add these together first. 24 plus 72 makes 96. Now let's simplify our surd. We'll leave the 12. 48 can be divided by 16, the perfect square, 16 times 3 makes 48. Then we split the surd, leave the 96 out here, leave the 12, split the surd. And then we square root the 16. And then we just have to multiply minus 12 times 4, which is minus 48, square root 3. Now just briefly, I'll show you the short method. You'll notice that when you have these questions with the squared here, you will always get these two middle terms here when you expand being the same. So the short method to expand, I'll write the question again. Is to times the first term by itself. 2 root 6 times 2 root 6. 2 times 2 is 4, and root 6 times root 6 is 6. Then you multiply the two middle terms together. 2 times minus 3 is minus 6, but you need to double it because we have two of them. We know we have to double, so it makes minus 12, and 6 times 8 is the root 48. And then you do the last term times by itself. Minus 3 times minus 3 is a positive 9, and root 8 times root 8 is 8. And it just helps you to expand that a little bit faster. And that gets us to this line here, where we can again simplify the root 48 in there and get down to the same answer. Alright, so that is how you expand using surds. So here is some questions for you to practice. So I'd like you to grab a pen and some paper and pause the video and try these 3 questions, and then unpause to go through the answers. Alright, off you go. Alright, let's have a look at the answers. Expanding. Root 7 times root 3. Timesing those together, 7 times 3 makes 21. Expand root 7 times a 2. Well, one of them is a surd and one of them isn't. So the 2 will be sitting out the front, times by the root 7. And that's the answer. Nothing can be simplified, so we're finished. Let's look at the next one. Doing our FOIL expansion. First, 2 times 2 is 4. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. Outside is 2 root 3 times minus 1. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, and the root 3 will sit after it. Inside, minus 1 times 2 makes a minus 2, and root 6 times root 3, 6 times 3 is 18. And last, minus root 1 root 6 times minus 1 will make a plus from the minus and minus, root 6. Now there is some simplifying that can be done here, this square root of 18. So let's go through and do that. We can also times 4 times 3 to get 12. Okay, so the 18 can be 9 times 2, 9 being the perfect square. Leave the root 6 because that can't be simplified. Split the surd. Makes minus 2 root 9 times root 2. Okay, square root that 9, so there's lots of rewriting here. If you're getting pretty confident, you can probably skip a few of these steps. 2 times square root of 9 is 3, so 2 times 3 is 6. Alright, and having a look there, there's actually no like surds, so I can't add any more things together there, so that is finished. Okay, question 3. Let's do this the long way, but hopefully some of you will be trying it the short way as well. So write the bracket twice. There it is. Now let's do our FOIL. So 5 times 5 makes 25. Root 7 times root 7 is 7. The square roots cancel out. Then we want 5 root 7 times by minus 2. 5 times 2 is minus 10. Then the root 7. Now we want inside. Minus 2 times 5 makes minus 10, and then root 7. And minus 2 times minus 2 makes a plus 4. Alright, we can simplify. 25 times 7 is 175. Collect our two middle like terms. So minus 10 root 7 minus another 10 root 7 is minus 20 root 7. And I have a plus 4 on the end, which I can collect. The 174 plus 4 makes 179 minus 20 root 7. How did you go? Did you get them all right? Alright, well that is the end of our lesson on expanding surds with questions involving brackets. Keep on practicing and we'll see you next time.